The baseball game's score dramatically favors one team, indicating a significant performance gap. A substantial score difference often reflects superior batting, pitching, and fielding by the leading team. Dominant performance in baseball can be quantified through advanced metrics such as batting average, earned run average, and fielding percentage. The pitcher's reluctance to warm up visually represents the widening score disparity. The act of warming up symbolizes the team's attempt to bridge the increasing gap in the score. The bullpen setting underscores the isolation and pressure felt by the pitcher in this critical situation. The pitcher exhibits reduced energy levels. The pitcher's mechanics show a decline in form. The game situation contributes to the pitcher's diminished performance. Earned run average, ERA, is a statistic used to evaluate a pitcher's performance by calculating the average number of earned runs they allow per 9 innings pitched. A single poor performance, especially in a high-scoring game, can significantly increase a pitcher's ERA. The ERA calculation is sensitive to earned runs allowed, making it vulnerable to inflation from games with exceptionally high run totals. A pitcher's throwing motion involves a complex sequence of movements that, when flawed, can lead to significant strain. Improper mechanics can increase the risk of injury due to excessive stress on specific joints and ligaments. Focus is crucial for maintaining proper form and minimizing the potential for mechanical errors that cause injury. The pitcher's mental state is graphically represented, showing a decline in focus. Reduced motivation is also evident in the pitcher's mental state during a blowout. The visualization highlights the negative impact of a blowout on the pitcher's mindset. In baseball, a manager's decision to leave a pitcher in during a lopsided game involves multiple strategic considerations. Factors such as pitcher workload management, player development, and game momentum influence the decision. The manager must balance the immediate game situation with long-term team goals when making pitching changes. Pitcher performance metrics vary significantly between high-pressure close games and low-stakes blowout games. In close games, pitchers typically exhibit heightened control and reduced walk rates due to increased focus. Conversely, in blowout games, pitchers may experience decreased strikeout rates and increased home run allowances due to relaxed intensity. Fan enthusiasm diminishes as the game's outcome becomes increasingly one-sided. Decreasing attendance reflects a loss of interest in a game with a significant score disparity. The crowd's reaction indicates a lack of excitement and engagement with the ongoing event. Fatigue in a pitcher can manifest through slumped shoulders and reduced arm speed. Resignation may be indicated by a pitcher's averted gaze and a decrease in pitch intensity. Changes in breathing patterns and increased perspiration can also signal physical and mental exhaustion. An umpire signals a run scored, indicating an addition to the current game score. The umpire's signal emphasizes the widening gap between competing team scores. Each run scored contributes to the overall game progression and competitive dynamics. A baseball pitch's trajectory is affected by factors such as initial velocity and release angle. As a game progresses, a pitcher's velocity may decrease, impacting pitch accuracy. In a blowout game, decreased focus can further degrade a pitcher's performance, leading to less accurate pitches. The batter assumes a confident stance, aware of the pitcher's potential disadvantage. The batter's stance reflects strategic awareness of the pitcher's condition. This stance is a calculated response to perceived vulnerabilities in the pitcher's performance. The scoreboard visually represents the real-time score difference between competing teams or individuals. A widening score gap on the scoreboard indicates a significant performance difference, often referred to as a blowout. Scoreboard updates provide immediate visual feedback, reflecting the changing dynamics and momentum of the competition. A pitch chart visually represents the types and locations of pitches thrown. The distribution of pitches on the chart reveals the pitcher's strategy, or lack thereof. Inconsistent pitch locations and predictable pitch types can indicate a flawed or absent pitching strategy. Fatigue significantly elevates the risk of physical injuries. Reduced focus is a primary contributor to increased injury incidence. The combination of fatigue and lack of focus compounds the probability of injury. Mental fatigue hyperoptimale. Decision-making process. Brain scans reveal decreased activity in decision-related areas during mental fatigue. Visual representations illustrate the cognitive impact of mental fatigue on strategic choices. Effective pitching staff management requires a clear strategy, especially during high-scoring games. A blowout game can expose weaknesses in a manager's strategic planning for pitcher utilization. Lack of a defined strategy can lead to overusing pitchers and increasing the risk of injury. Blowout games can significantly skew a pitcher's season statistics, potentially misrepresenting their true performance. Including blowout games in calculations can inflate ERA and WHIP, leading to inaccurate performance evaluation. Analyzing performance, both with and without blowout games, provides a more comprehensive understanding of a pitcher's abilities. The pitcher's perspective reveals a continuous sequence of batters approaching the plate. Each batter represents a challenge and a variable in the game's dynamic. The pitcher's focus is on controlling the game's rhythm and outcome through each pitch. Base running involves players advancing around the bases to score runs. The intensity of base running can significantly impact the game's momentum. Lack of intensity in base running can lead to missed scoring opportunities. Half-hearted attempts at fielding plays indicate a lack of defensive effort. Insufficient effort compromises the team's ability to execute defensive strategies effectively. Observable lack of hustle and determination undermines overall team performance. Physical exertion leads to visible signs of fatigue, such as increased perspiration. Dehydration and electrolyte imbalance contribute to decreased physical performance and endurance. Muscle fatigue results from the accumulation of metabolic byproducts and depletion of energy stores. The umpire signals a ball by extending an arm to the side, indicating the pitch did not enter the strike zone. A strike is signaled with a forceful raised fist, marking a successful pitch within the strike zone, or a swing and a miss. These signals ensure the game's relentless continuation, maintaining order and fair play. The baseball seam represents a critical point of contact and control for the pitcher. Each pitch involves a repetitive motion, emphasizing the importance of consistency in grip and release. The seam's orientation influences the ball's trajectory and spin, affecting the pitch's movement. The empty dugout symbolizes a lack of team support and camaraderie. Absence of players highlights the isolation and disconnect within the team. The vacant space represents a void in team dynamics and collaborative spirit. The pitcher's motion is analyzed to identify flaws. Fatigue can cause deviations from the ideal pitching form. Detailed analysis reveals specific mechanical inefficiencies due to fatigue. Statistical regression can be significantly influenced by outlier data points. A single extreme performance can disproportionately skew a pitcher's overall statistics. Data visualization effectively demonstrates the impact of individual events on overall statistical trends. The pitcher's mind is a battleground where confidence and doubt clash. Negative self-talk can undermine performance and shatter focus. Visualization techniques can help regain control and promote a positive mindset. The manager's decision involves evaluating current player performance data. Pitching changes are strategic decisions impacting team dynamics and game outcomes. Optimal managerial decisions balance immediate needs with long-term strategic goals. The pitcher stands alone on the mound, symbolizing individual responsibility. Opposing players scoring runs highlight the consequences of the pitcher's performance. The scene emphasizes the direct correlation between individual performance and team outcomes. The crowd's collective disappointment manifests as visible frustration. Team performance directly correlates with fan emotional response. Frustration can stem from unmet expectations and perceived failures. The baseball field is cast with long shadows, visually representing the extended duration of the game. The lengthening shadows serve as a visual metaphor for the game's progression and the increasing sense of anticipation. The stark contrast between light and shadow emphasizes the competitive tension and the stakes of the ongoing game. The scoreboard displays a significant point disparity between competing teams. Glare on the scoreboard emphasizes the uneven competition and the wide margin of victory. The lopsided score visually represents the dominance of one team over the other. The pitcher's routine begins with a focused mental preparation, visualizing the pitch and desired outcome. Physical preparation involves specific warm-up exercises to activate key muscle groups and ensure flexibility. The pitching motion is a sequence of coordinated movements, culminating in the release of the ball towards the target. A statistical anomaly occurs when a data point deviates significantly from the expected norm. In baseball, a pitcher's poor performance during a blowout game can represent a statistical anomaly. This anomaly may be attributed to psychological factors rather than a decline in skill. Mental resilience is essential for effectively overcoming setbacks. Resilience involves adapting to stress and bouncing back from adversity. Visualizing mental resilience aids in understanding and reinforcing its importance. The manager's voiceover aims to provide encouragement. However, the delivered encouragement proves to be ineffective. The lack of impact undermines the intended positive message. The pitcher's mound, a place of intense focus, now evokes a sense of desolation. The absence of the pitcher amplifies the feeling of emptiness on the field. The silence of the stadium underscores the pitcher's solitary experience. The early departure of fans signifies a lack of excitement in the game. Empty seats become a visual representation of diminished engagement and spectator interest. The thinning crowd symbolizes a tangible decline in the game's appeal. The baseball field, covered in dust, represents the wear and tear of the game. Dust accumulation signifies the intensity and physical demands of baseball. The airborne dust symbolizes the constant action and physical exertion involved in the sport. The final score is prominently displayed, signifying defeat. Visual emphasis is placed on the losing team's score to underscore the outcome. The graphic design clearly communicates the concept of defeat through color and numerical representation. The pitcher is reflecting on the game. The pitcher is feeling disappointment. The game's outcome is weighing heavily on the pitcher. Statistical reassessment involves a thorough review of data to understand the impact of specific events. Data visualization techniques are employed to effectively communicate complex statistical findings. Understanding the impact of an event requires analyzing statistical data before and after its occurrence. Mental recovery involves a process of psychological restoration following periods of high stress or exertion. Key components of mental recovery include rest, mindfulness, and supportive social interaction. Effective mental recovery can enhance performance, reduce burnout, and improve overall well-being. Manager provides support and guidance to the pitcher. The manager's support aims to improve the pitcher's performance and confidence. Guidance from the manager helps the pitcher develop strategic thinking and adaptability. The pitcher's unwavering determination serves as the primary driver for continuous improvement. Focused effort and dedication are essential for moving forward and achieving future goals. Consistent practice and refinement of skills contribute to the pitcher's overall advancement. The setting sun marks the conclusion of a challenging day. The fading light symbolizes the end of effort and perseverance. The day's challenges come to a close as the sun dips below the horizon. Statistical learning utilizes data to enhance future performance. Data visualization aids in understanding patterns and trends within statistical data. Improved performance is achieved through iterative learning from statistical data. Mental fortitude is the psychological strength to persevere through challenges and adversity. Building mental fortitude involves developing resilience, self-discipline, and emotional regulation. Mental fortitude enables individuals to maintain focus and perform effectively under pressure.